Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that's my phone. It's an alarm saying, be here on time.
okay, so welcome to the Brand and Business Mastery Workshop. It's a 3 days workshop, and as I said, when we designed this workshop early on, we designed it based on your input. So we want to go first and introduce each one of you and why you are here.
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
My name is Timothy Yurkowski. I am one of the shareholders of Twilight Star Media Limited, and it's a corporation set up as sole proprietorship, because I am my service, things that I do. I am also a Reiki master, and some of the things that I do are Twilight Star Reiki, audiovisual services, production consulting, content creation, graphic design, live event support, and project planning. So right now I'm looking at focusing more on rebranding as Timothy Yurkowski and having the brand of the Yurkowski be to the forefront, because that's what the service and product is that we're focusing on. Because of all the different services, it's hard to focus on one service. So if I can focus on me, I think that will really help.
Okay. And what is top 3 outcomes that you love to have from here?
One more kind of a focus on where some of my energy can go to, in because there's different ways of branding. So what are some of the key points that are the most return on investment? Meeting new people and learning from them, and spending time with you.
Okay.
You know, I'm
Thank
very
you.
fortunate to be here, and I thank you. So
Thank you. Okay.
Hello, my name is Akesh, and I actually have really loved the opportunity to get to work a little bit one-on-one with Wally, so he's given me some really good advice already. And I am a food manufacturer making African food products, so I'm hoping to get into grocery stores as well as restaurants. So, yeah.
Nice. Thank you. My name is Tracy Rickards, and I am Tracy Rickards Consulting. And so, my goodness, I'm making a really great impression here, aren't I? So, my career has really developed and changed significantly. I went from working oil and gas as an employee at a high-level supervisor to the owner of a retail store, which has been closed, and now fulfilling my life purpose, which is actually working with small business entrepreneurs. So rebranding myself as myself and capitalizing on my 25 years of experience while getting away from what I've already developed out there is what I'm looking for. I want to focus on online presence and be more international, do my work online with some live events, but that's my focus is online.
Oh.
My name is Jennifer, and I am part owner on a Merchant Services ISO, Independent Sales Offices, KISS Payments, and I want to learn more about how, like Timothy, to focus the brand more on myself than my service, and the fact that I can provide merchant services sort of being what my service is, but me being the focus and the advice and help I can give them with their merchant services being the primary focus.
I'm Lil Lazar, and I did have a bra shop, Tender Loving Cups, so I still have it, but I'm stepping back from it. And I just got my facilitator's license for Q Process, and I'm also a meditation teacher. So that's where I want to, it's rebranding myself. I'm starting over here. I've done, I've co-authored in 10 books, but I haven't done anything with it. So what I'm really looking for out of here is maximizing like website and getting multiple streams of income coming in, and working on my brand, and it's neat.
Nice. Multiple streams.
Does anyone like to use some other one else objectives for his own right now? Or
Yeah.
So what other objective you want right now?
The online presence and the multiple income streams resonate. Because that's always fun.
Yes, definitely.
And this is actually the start of what I want to share here. All the learning, and I know you sign up on this wafer. All what we share with you here, and all what you will share, are just ideas. We are not responsible for the results. We're only responsible for the results if we apply it, or we apply it with you. So I will share with you as much as I know on these individual topics. There is a group of VIP will have extra hours as well, where we can focus on more, but everybody will have the value as well during the normal course of operation. There will be a workbook and few other materials which will be distributed, and yeah, and this is it. So do you have any questions? Yes?
I signed up with,
Yep.
yes, so I'm unclear if I'm in the VIP or not.
No, you are in the preferred.
Preferred.
Yeah.
Yeah,
already.
so if you could just let me know what that means when we get there. that'd be
Sure,
great.
sure, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you have a package? Like have a no?
Yes,
And there is a welcome letter inside
yes,
in pink. It outlines the differences. So
great, great.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So, however, in general, however, in VIP, and Snowden, you wanna share your business?
Oh.
You weren't here for the introduction, so
Yeah, sorry, I was just getting all
you were
started.
volunteering as well, so I appreciate it.
I do law of marketing, which is marketing consulting and strategy, primarily for not-for-profits and small businesses trying to start their brand. Yeah, I've been around for about a year.
Okay.
And sorry, your name?
Oh, Sandon.
Send it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can start in two ways. I can start first with. Do you like to watch video in the morning? Okay.
Yes, we can go with it.
You go with video. So what I will show you with you here, it's so the exercise right now is we want to watch this video clip. It's about 5 minutes, and I would like each one of you to write down. There is extra sheets. You can have. There's a pen. There's coffee outside if you want to bring coffee. There's not too many people, so you can bring coffee here if you like. What I would like you to just relax, watch this video and take notes, and just pick on what you don't like or what you do in your business, because this is how we run our businesses. Okay?
Okay.
Now we gotta go to the soup place.
What soup place?
There's a soup stand. Kramer's been going there. He's always raving. I finally got a chance to go there the other day, and I tell you this, you will be stunned.
Stunned by soup?
You can't eat this soup standing up. Your knees buckle. There's only one caveat. The guy who runs the place is a little temperamental, especially about the ordering procedure. He's secretly referred to as the soup Nazi.
What happens if you don't order right?
He yells and you don't get your soup.
What?
Just follow the ordering procedure and you will be fine.
All right, let's go over that again.
All right. As you walk in the place, move immediately to your right. Main thing is to keep the line moving.
I said, yeah, hold out your money, speak your soup in a loud, clear voice, step to the left and receive.
Right. It's very important not to embellish on your order. No extraneous comments. No questions. No compliments.
Oh, I'm really scared.
Great.
That's enough now about the soup time.
Medium turkey chili.
Medium crab bisque.
I didn't get any bread.
Just forget it, let it go.
Excuse me, I think you forgot my bread.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3. No soup for you.
Good afternoon. One large crab bisque to go. Red.
Beautiful. You're pushing your luck, little man.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey there. One mulligatawny and, what is that right there? Is that lima bean?
Yes.
Never been a big fan. You know what? Has anyone ever told you look exactly like Al Pacino? You know, Scent of a Woman? Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah!
Very good. Very good. You got something? No soup for you. Come back. 1 year. Go on. Leave. Get out.
But I didn't do anything!
Next.
Hello.
You think you can get soup? Please, you're wasting everyone's time.
I don't want soup. I can make my own soup. 5 cups chopped porcini mushrooms, half a cup of olive oil, 3 pounds celery.
This is my recipe for wild mushroom.
Yeah, that's right. I got 'em all. Cold cucumber, corn and crab chowder, mulligatawny.
Mulligatawny.
You're through, soup Nazi. No more soup for you.
Did you have fun? So if we track the day with this video, what did you take from it?
Well, what I liked is the regimented ordering process and kind of having.
What
you're
you
able to-
like?
You're able to establish the kind of a time and or like you know a timeline that's pretty set by having it regimented walking in. He knows exactly how many soup he's going to be able to maximize in a day if he keeps it to that, and he can produce enough soup and feed as many people based upon that. So that's something I like.
Okay. Any? Yes.
I really love the fact that they're talking about him before they even get there because everybody knows what he's all about.
Okay.
Although the fact was it wasn't all positive, but they were still going to get his product anyways.
Yeah.
What I don't like about it is the whole not people part of it, because I'm all about people.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Yeah, I could, it's like, how could you survive with you, being so, not customer friendly? But it was funny.
Okay.
I found it interesting that he had, it's nowhere near the same thing, but like Apple created a brand where people wanted it and they were willing to fit into his box to get the product, and it superseded him. It was talked about, everybody else spread the word. He didn't really have to tell people, you come in, you put this down, and you do this. Other people were telling you how you had to go in and how you had to order it and what you had to do in order to get the product. So he had built himself quite the name. Unfortunately, it's not a very positive name, even if they did want his soup.
Wow. Okay. Cash, do you have any feedback? Especially are in the food business.
Yeah. I think it was really cool that at the beginning they're like it's soup, but he took something that could just be really boring and general, and he made a very unique product you could go for soup anywhere, but he provides like a very specific soup. You have to go to him to get that soup.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think like at the end here, his recipes and everything is poorly kept. I don't know how she got her hands.
There is a bigger, there is a longer video. This just was cut
okay.
clips from the whole
Yeah.
show. It's like I believe like 45 minutes,
Okay.
but we cut few things. So
Yeah, it was kind of interesting at the end. She kind of took away all the power from him by having by having all the secrets. And there's a lot of it. To me, it spoke like there's a lot of information online about like branding and marketing and social media stuff. But like when you go to somebody, you get it for a certain reason. Like you get that information from that person because you trust that person, and now. But everyone can figure that out.
okay, wow. So in your understanding, is this a positive customer experience or negative customer experience?
Oh, negative.
For me, it's negative.
However, the feedback we heard.
Well, the thing is that they're still going there for the soup. So again, the client is fitting, like you
Yeah.
said, within the box because the soup supersedes the service. You know, there's
So.
like we don't like having to pre-register to walk into an Apple store like 3 days beforehand just for the opportunity to look at a MacBook, right? But we do that.
Well, actually, we don't all. Because for me, I would never stand in that line.
Well, that's you. Yeah, exactly.
And I do the opposite. It's like wherever the masses are going, I'm not going there because I'm not putting myself in the box.
And that's definitely a personal choice for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is exactly the
But there's your mindless compliance that you've talked about in the past.
yes, and this is exactly where I want to start. That we, although we have only 6 individuals around the table here, we don't absorb or take the information in the same way.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel the argument between the you here around the table? Like you couldn't even agree that standing in line and having the process, it's a good thing or it's just too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not an
you
argument.
can't
We're-
please
yeah.
everybody.
It's not you cannot please everybody. It's like, do you like to have your business in this way? Is this the proper business setting?
For me, it's gonna be no.
The only negative is how some people are perceiving the ordering process, and if you don't follow it, you don't get no soup. So in a way, it works because the owner of the business has the control and is able to check his boxes and dot his I's and cross his T's. In a way, that's really good.
So how do we know that's really good? How do we know that this system is really good?
There's a lineup and people are
Right.
buying a soup.
And what about if this lineup could be 2-3 times longer, and people like Tracy will not go because this
Every
attitude-
ice cream shop in Calgary, right?
Okay.
People will stand in line for a long time to get an ice cream cone, whereas going to the store and getting a $5 pail of ice cream and some cones is like a much better experience.
So are you in the ice cream business?
I'm not, no.
Who here in a similar business like this, Soup Nazi? And remember, this also it's made to get a slap, so
Yeah.
they have some extreme.
Yeah, exactly. But
So-
Peter's Drive-In, people lined up for Peter's Drive-Ins just to get that specific burger, that specific milkshake. It's not out of the realm of reality, which is why, you have to have some sort of truth to have it be funny, right? Because this happens every single day in so many food industries.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know why, but I'm the kind of person, I'm not going anywhere near that line.
Yeah.
I've lived here 20 years, I've never been
I'm
to
not a Tim
Peter's.
Hortons fan
Have
because
you
of the
been to
line.
Peter's Drive-In?
Yeah, well, and I don't go to Peter's Drive-In very often, but when I do, I go in Red Deer because the lineup's less.
See, but I'll go pay
Right.
$15 for a burger over there because there's no lineup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And also, I choose not to go get coffee at Tim Hortons because I actually say, I don't want to be one of the lemmings sitting in my car for 25 minutes to start my work day to pay for a $2.50 coffee and some donuts. It doesn't make sense to me.
So we gotta have businesses that serve both people.
Yeah.
So, how do you define your boundaries in your business?
That's
Because if you assume your business, people will come whatsoever, whatever will happen, are you in this business?
yeah. And that was something that personally,
Like, are you in this business?
for the struggle is setting up an expectation. Like, where's the line between working to work and get some revenue, or working for good clients and getting the right revenue? That's the challenge that you face. Like, are you going to be committed? Are you serious? Like, if I'm renting a recording studio and bringing in an artist and setting up microphones, yes, I want a $400 deposit because there's a lot of intellectual property that goes into just getting everything ready for an artist. But there's lots of uncontrolled. I don't control if the artist has physically actually prepared their material, come in, practice, and is able to record in an efficient way, and they don't have a good recording experience because of that. There's negative feedback on me, but it's beyond my control. So I have really, really high standards, and there are people that I've basically just in my quoting process, I filter them out. So but it's tough.
Yeah, I find that even starting with the food business, people have expectations. Like, they want something spicier, but then some people don't want it very spicy. And I can't put out at the very beginning unlimited number of products. So I have to kind of specifically choose which products do I want to put out. And it's not going to make everyone happy, because some people will find it not spicy enough, and some people will find it too spicy and should reduce the spice.
So people have,
And that's what the dislikes was, the unrealistic expectation.
that's right.
Was a dislike, right?
So how can you control that expectation?
I think one of the ways has been choosing kind of which market I
No, you tell them what they should expect.
You said
The questions are not here to challenge you guys. The questions are very simple. Like, how do you know this system work for you, or will work for your customers? How do you know? How do you know the soup system will work for customers? It's not by watching the line. It's by asking them. By having consumer or customer surveys. It's so simple. My questions are very simple. Like, you have to let the complicated thoughts go away, and let's just look at very simple concepts. Okay? So before I go to the next video, it's an option. We don't have, it may not work as well, but we don't want to talk about it now. Is the soup no soup for you? Because you can see the message. The message of this video is no soup for you. And the primary business for this guy is what?
Selling soup.
Selling soup. So when I come and tell you no soup for you, means I am losing revenue.
Yeah, but increasing demand, because if you make it through the line.
I'm not talking about the demand, because how many of you here have the demand?
That's right, yeah.
I'm gonna go get a salad and post
No, but the question is, like, if I want to map this have been around for more than 9 years, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not a brand new video.
No.
And many of you did anybody seen it before? Did you analyze it before?
I didn't analyze it, I just enjoyed it for what it was.
The funny.
Yeah.
That's
It's
it.
funny.
And it does come up, like we, in business and in just talking, like the no soup for you comes up when you're letting the bad customer go, and you're saying, you know what, I don't have to work
So,
for you. I don't have to.
Why do you judge? What is a bad customer?
yeah.
What is a bad customer? You talk about bad customer. So
Well,
who is a bad customer?
The PETA one.
Who is a bad customer?
Well, again, they don't become my customer. Ones that don't have a defined budget and don't really know what they want. And that, again, this gets filtered out for me in my quoting process is, I get an email. I just need a price for recording a 5-song EP. And I was like, okay, where do you want it recorded? Is it just you and your guitar, or do you want extra musicians to play on it? There's no scope of work in somebody just coming up and sending a single line email to my inbox that says, I want to record 5 songs, how much is it? Because they haven't thought about it, right? And so then the communication starts where I start asking them questions. Do you want to record it in a professional studio? Do you want other musicians to play on it? And then that starts them thinking, and if they're serious enough, they'll email me back, and if they're not, I never hear from them ever again.
So why you call them bad customers?
Well, they're not customers, actually. They're prospects.
Okay.
I wouldn't say there's necessarily a bad customer so much as a customer that, if you like, doesn't understand the rules. Like you said, you either filter them out ahead of time and they don't become a customer, or it's a customer who didn't set the expectations up front to begin with, so that you guys weren't already simpatico
Aligned,
or on the
exactly.
same page,
Yep.
and then you got the conflict there because your expectations and their expectations are different.
Yep.
So do you have rules for your business?
They're not necessarily, well...
Does everybody
with,
here around have?
with-
I have
have
also
an
to make
idea.
sure like each one has enough time, enough space, enough broadcast window, so we share the ideas. Because if we let a couple of people just give us their ideas, they will not let us digest or understand their ideas. Okay. So do you have rules?
I think it's very important that you're clear on what your procedures are.
So do you have rules?
Yes.
Yes.
Because procedures is different than rules. Procedures are not restricted, but rules. If you break the procedure, what does it mean? Is the same consequences as you break the rule?
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah,
You see?
yeah.
However, when you start, you mimic procedure as rules. Because so, do you have rules for your business?
Definitely.
No, we have procedures.
We have procedure for our business. Because who is the boss in the business? In the business, because almost all of you are selling to individuals.
The customer is the boss.
So the customer is the boss. So how, if the customer is the boss, I'm enforcing him to my rules? So you will go around and you will hear from so many people, and they will say, yeah, you must have rules, you must be strict, you must. Go back and ask yourself, how many businesses and how much money these people make and lost or kept in their life. You will find they just came from an MBA program. It happened to me a long time ago when I used to have my very first startup from University of Calgary. I was a professor at the time. I had my own video lab, and they came. I said, yeah, we have this program. You have been around. You're doing this startup companies. Come and join our program. So I sat with somebody. He used to be Paul Catford at the time. He used to be the CEO of UTI. He said, we have a team for you to help you pushing your startup company to the next level. I said, that's great. How much will it cost? It's university initiatives. I said, this is awesome. I spent there 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, I started to do the following. They tell me right, I go left. Mindless, non-compliant. They tell me go up, I go down. They tell me go shower, I go wash my face. I do complete opposite to whatever they do. And I was successful. Because when I went back and I started to verify how many startup companies these people help and create, I found it very, very interesting. All of them, they just graduated from an MBA program, and they didn't even at the time have the entrepreneurship major there in the MBA program. Okay, so it's a very, this module is never been in this workshop before. This is just one of the augmentation of the change of the standard workshop I used to do. This workshop have been done for this number 38, by the way. It varies from 37, 40 people to 3 people in terms of crowd. I like to work only with people around this room, because when we be 10 or 6 to 10 or whatever small number, we will maximize the value of the information. Each one can share, we can debate. If we have more people around the table, the more people will not allow you enough time to go through these ideas and vet them in the right way. That's right. So when you spend these 3 days with me, please leave behind all this taboo or frames which you must have rules for your business. Who is the boss in your business? Is the customer. And why the customer is the boss?
Because they're the ones that's
Paying the
bringing,
bill.
bringing in the income.
These are the ones that bring in the income. And why do you need the income?
So you can keep having
Yeah.
business.
That's right. This is right. We need the income to sustain the operation of the business, to keep having business. We don't need the income to make us rich. If you shift your view that you need the income to maintain the business and sidetrack, you'll make money for a living, I understand that. But the primary goal for the income is what? And I congratulate you because you are the only one who will give it immediately. Everyone say, yeah, we need income because we need to live. I said, no. You need the income to sustain the business.
Yeah, so we're talking about the business.
Well, just to put it on the table, I mentioned I had a retail store which I had to close, and that we had to close it because we weren't having enough business to sustain the business. So I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah. And this is actually, it's in my understanding. And as I said, you had a very long sheet of whatever it is. Everything we share here is our view as Win Your Brand, is some concepts which we developed internally. There's some original concepts, and when we talk about different, if you don't like any concept, we can discuss it and either convince us is not correct or whatever. So the primary thing for our customers is they pay us money. That's right. This is the primary characteristics. That's why we call them customers. Have you ever in front of somebody who got your service without paying you money?
That's when I'm a volunteer,
Yep. Yes.
and I do volunteer a lot of times.
So what you call these people who get your service?
They're still customers.
No,
in a different way.
they are not customers.
Or, okay,
Because the primary characteristic of a customer is what?
you just said paying.
Paying money. So how you pay money? You receive an invoice, you got a receipt. That's right. So these people need special paper. These people will need special paperwork. Do you agree?
Yes.
So the other people, I call them clients. And the clients will be somebody coming in to get all of your service at no payment. Make sense? Another model. If you work for, I work with individuals who develop a program for Calgary Board of Education. And they go to schools and they give these workshops. So the students in the school are what? Are customers?
No, they're clients.
They're clients. Who is the customer?
Parents.
Parent or Calgary Board of Education. Okay?
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
And this is a definition I live by. So when I give a free seminars, a free workshops, I target clients. If you want to do online packages and you provide webinars, you provide material at no cost, they call them lead magnets, they call them trappers, whatever they call them for you, you are targeting clients. Can you convert a client to a customer?
Yes.
Yes.
This is the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, before client, how you get to client base? How can you access clients? What's the stage before clients?
Get,
They can be prospects. So what is a prospect?
An individual or organization you're trying to build trust with.
It's someone you have communication with. You have interaction with. Okay? So I do have a lady from St. Albert, and she's a yoga master. And she wants to come to every workshop I do. And every time, 2 days before the workshop, she had a personal reason not to come. So she's my prospect. Every time we have an event, what I do?
invite her.
I have discussion with her.
Yeah.
Okay, she doesn't come. When she asked me for few things, and I was able to help her give her access to free access to some of my online material. What happened is she became a client. But for my workshop, she's always a prospect. Somebody's interested, having dialogue with them. Do you agree on these definitions?
This makes sense.
So the prospect is where you're planting your seeds, or is that kind of the?
Let's just finish the
Energy
model.
for communication.
Let's
Because
just
every
finish the
time you write
model.
an
Don't
email
judge
or
it.
call
Don't judge
or-
it. Don't try to make it. Just
That's it.
Oh,
just there are 3 stages right now of interaction with somebody other than me and my family. There's an interaction point where I receive cash, or I can exchange. You can come for service. I can give you for service. There is an interaction point where I always provide the value, and you will not provide something back. There is an interaction point where we're just discussing. Before prospects, what is the stage? So we model it as lead. So lead is someone who is interested, and when this lead comes, he will leave behind a phone number, he will leave behind an email, he will leave behind something to say what?
I'm
Call
interested
me.
in more communication.
Call me, yeah, in more communication. Once you have more communication, he will be.
Prospect.
If you invite him to to get value or attend free events or review webinar, like I don't want to buy the whole workshop because 7 or 8 of our customers are just basically building online presence, the exclusive online. So we do lots of this work for them, and if they come only online to see value, you get them a webinar, you give them books, workbooks, handbooks, whatever it is, and they did not pay money yet, what will happen? Doesn't matter, they're clients. And so where do you agree? Where do you grab your lead from?
From the public.
Well, and there's different sources. Like, I mean, attending networking events.
So what you call
organizations.
them? What you call this class?
They're
We call
general
them
population.
we call them target audience.
Yeah, good.
So what's target audience? A target audience is someone who will be converting to a customer and is having the need and the pain that I can solve. Before target audience, we call them audience, and the audience will come from a general population. Okay? How many of you have this kind of modeling for your own business and services?
As of this moment, right now, but it starts right now.
So you have a structure, what kind of message and what kind of service and what kind of material you will provide to each one of these levels, right? And it is not complicated. It is not complicated. I know for people who are not visual, when they see this, they may feel overwhelmed. It's not complicated, because you can basically decide which class you want to design your system for, and once you design the system here, you move to the next ones. But you should model it in this way, and this way it's my own way, or Win Your Brand way. And rule number 1 of the rule we always repeat and say. Rule number 1 of the rule is what? You know the rule.
Rule number 1.
You know the rule and you break
the
it.
rules. Yeah.
So once you know this rule, you can break it. How do you break it? You say, you know what? I don't provide the value. I only provide paid service. Like in your example, you only provide paid service. Do you give them free trial? No.
No, I would
Okay,
say
so-
the customers are the ones that I serve, but I would say I have far more clients than I have customers.
No, you have far more prospects than customers.
Because what do you
Not
do for free?
necessarily, because I provide a free audit of their current merchant services and will
Yep.
Okay,
do
so
that
as-
for
Fine,
them.
yep.
A free audit will be client based.
Yep.
Yeah, so
But-
that's what I'm saying. I have way more clients than I have customers
Yeah.
at this point.
So the point I want to say here is some of our businesses, like when you have a free sample of your sauce, this is our client. But if you decide not to have free samples of the sauce and only sell the sauce, what will happen? All of them are customers. Some of you may decide that lead and the prospects are the same, because the people will just give us a phone call back. So when somebody call you back, you're already on conversation with them. They don't leave. So what I want to say, breaking the rule means you change the structure, you ignore it completely, you modify it, you split them in different classes. However, you need first to do what? To know the rule to break it. And the rule number one of the rules is what? Break the rule. Okay? And I always repeat this because when I design my businesses, I design them in this way. And I can talk more and more and more during the 3 days about how we can characterize this and so many others. Now, if we go to the no soup for you example, and this will lead to this particular stage. So when people pay you money, what else can you do with them for a service?
Sell more.
Sell more.
Yeah, value add.
So sell more, value add, we call them repeat or return
Renewals.
customers. So these customers will return for similar product, for a different product. Have you ever heard about upselling?
Yep.
For a different package, for an upgrade, for whatever, right? Then after that, you can have referred customers. This is a customer who will give you a referral. And after that, you can have retired customers. What's a retired customer?
They no longer need your service.
Or no longer in contact with you, or a customer that you basically complete the service and he has no need, like you define it in your own terms, not mine. Based on what each one of your business, you can define who are the retired customers. Each one of those layers, and these are 10 classes of relationship with people outside who are primarily coming to be your customer.
So could we take a look at that client pool and then see out of those clients who are also going to be like referral partners and champions for your business? that
Champions
could
are
lead to-
referral. So champions are referral.
This is just personal. I have a lot of people who have never paid me for anything, but still believe because they don't specifically need it. Who are they're referring people to me who do become customers.
This is your model, this your business is great. The point I want to say is, if you see this blue, so what's your job now? Your job is to figure out what's the process to transition people over the arrows.
Right. Okay.
So how we transfer people through the arrow? By having what we call it, call to action. So if I have a lead, I will have a call to action to engage them into discussions. When I have a discussion, I may get them into a free service, or I can get them into a paid service. That's right. So your role is to design for your business these transitions. And the biggest challenge you have is when you have website developers, when you have social media. So where is social media here? Will work.
Target audience.
Social media will work here, in this area. Okay? That's right?
Yeah.
And it can also work here. Customer satisfaction and rating will work here. That's right? So if you hire somebody for social media and they don't get you more customers, it's not their problem. Do they deal with customers? No. Do you agree?
I don't get what you said there.
Okay. So many of us want to develop a social media strategy or a website. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are people who say you don't need a website, and I will come to this point because this is not the right advice. So if I come to your website or come to your social media, do you think I'm a customer or I am somebody here?
No, you're just, yeah,
I'm here.
yeah.
So do I need to know about your prices?
No.
You
It's-
see?
Some say yes and some say no.
No,
Yeah,
you
it's-
don't need to.
Yeah.
And I will share with you why in a minute. What do I need to know about here?
What their needs are.
Do they know their need?
No, the pain points that you are specializing in.
They need to know the value of you getting somebody from a sad face to a happy face. Each one of you must have a business like this, that's right? Each one of us, we have a business, which we call it transformational business, where we transform what? Sad faces into
I like that.
happy faces. So this is the pain points,
Right?
okay? Supposed to be PP for consistency. And this is the HO, which is the happy outcome.
Yeah, right on.
And your strength is where?
The transition.
The transformation or the transition. So can you tell us what's your solutions to make people happy?
So people are looking for example, when we spoke about this, they're looking for quality ingredients.
People just looking for the flavor and the African spices.
Yeah.
So when you package them and you give it to them in an easy way, what will happen?
Yeah. You make something hard to find, easy to access.
She cannot even articulate this, right? Can each one of you articulate pain points to happy outcome? He sat there and he talked about what he's doing, and he sent the information, and he will. He didn't tell us what he's doing.
Well, yeah, from our initial discussion, I thought you were a Reiki master, and then I'm hearing about video. Now I'm confused.
And I will come to that.
That's
And
it, exactly, and I'm confused too.
I will come to that. And remember, this is we are not even 1 hour yet.
Yeah.
And I'm just we will spend the whole 3 days, maybe 60% of them on these concepts and how to walk out. Like my goal in the end of the 3 days, that you will walk out with a strategy that you applied already in the 3 days. And I can share with you, last time we had this workshop, we had here someone, she's a voice coach, and she emailed me at 1 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday saying that she increased her prices from $15 to $43 an hour because she applied what she learned in these 3 days. And she was able to get, once she understands this, she went to her customers and she sold them a higher package. And this package, we designed it here with her on Sunday night. 3 of the audience and myself, and we sat here on the table in the VIP and said, okay, can you position this new offer? She went in, she worked on it on Sunday night or Monday morning. She had a session Monday, she shared it with her customers, and I believe 4 of them or 3 of them bought the new package. And in the new package, she went from $15 an hour into $43 an hour. And she sent me this email, very amazing email. I'm not sure how often you get an email from a client or a customer at 1 o'clock in the morning. You know? So I got this, and Sandy, I will never forget her because this was just she came with Karen Carlson from Karen Carlson Group, and she was just she was very skeptical. She didn't like what we have been doing, and the minute she opened up, she will be able to achieve this. So the point I want to say, these are 10 customers. These people need to know value. These people need to know how to sign up. So your social media is
Awareness.
Is showing your.
here.
Yeah.
Do they need to know about the price?
No.
So
Not yet.
why do you have on your website sign up now and the price? Buy now. The only one who allowed to buy now is Amazon. Because Amazon, when people go to Amazon,
They're, yeah.
okay,
They're,
so you can have for your social media and the website location here by having secret groups or private groups. Okay? So the point I wanted to make is you go to your web designer, to your social media people and say, I would like you to get me more customers. And sorry, ma'am, their job is not getting you more customers. Their job is to create awareness here. However, because they are like everybody, they want to make money, what they do? They take over a task which is
Outside their scope of work.
outside logic because they need money. That's right. How many is selling life coaching? And I know not all of you are live, but how many is selling life coaching
There's a
through
lot now.
through SEO? No, through SEO.
Oh.
Through search, through Google search. If you understand the AdWords, and I can show you the examples on it from Google website itself. AdWords and what kind of word people searching, you'll find people don't search for life coaching.
well, they don't.
They don't. They are very, like in Alberta, between I believe 1 to 10 searches a month. So why do you spend money on what we call it SEO, search engine optimization? Are people in the mood to buy life coaching through searches on Google?
Obviously not.
And that's why exactly the two other partner who came in here, they were spending $700 a month on SEO optimization for 2.5 years, and it never worked for them. So the minute they came in here, I saved them maybe about a couple of $1,000 a month unnecessary spending. There is a need for the SEO, and if you want to build authority, credibility, if people will look you out, they need to find you in the right way. But do you hunt for people on SEO? Not necessary. If you do divine work, you know the divine work? You know what's divine work? Like you talk to your divine, you talk to your angels, and this.
Yeah.
We call it the woo stuff, okay? I admire these practices and this modality because I've seen the transformation of people's life through it, through my customers. This is why I admire it. But 12 years ago, it didn't make sense to me. And they always come up front and say that. I have 2 PhDs in computer engineering. I have a brain. But when I discovered that my science is not complete. So I start to appreciate them. I start to appreciate that we don't know every single piece of the science.
Yeah.
So that's why these people are very helpful for us. So the new thing also you need to understand is there is Yelp and some other website for rating. That's right. Yelp, you can put review on different people, and now Facebook is doing it and Google is doing it. If you check in here, they will tell you to review on your brand. So you can also have customers referral and customer return from here through the reviews. Okay. For sure, you can design your website to have like our websites will have an user access only level here, and this user access only level here will allow you to log in and have your own website, and you get your delivery based on whatever payment you have, whatever level you are. So when you design websites and social media, you must figure out which level of those you are designing it. If you have everything online, like what we do, you can basically create process here to push people back. and everything can be done online. But they don't go to the same page. Do you agree? So front website will be here.
Right, okay,
Membership login will be here.
okay, yeah.
Okay. Surveys will go here. These just few examples.
So you have different levels within the website itself with access to just the specific.
Yes. And for you at your stage right now, you should design it as independent website in your brain. And the format will be similar, the template will be similar, so the implementation of it will be similar, will be within the website. But if you wanna consider what you do here,
The foundation of it.
you have to split it. That's why you don't be overwhelmed. These are 10 points of contact. You may augment some of them, up to you. Rule number one of the rule, you know the rule and break it, doesn't matter, you know? And then what will happen is, okay, what are you giving these people? And I will share with you a sheet, which basically, if you have this sheet in the blueprint of your business, and you have a sheet for every single product you give to each one of these, your business will be very explicit. You can hand it to somebody else to run it. You can expand. You can hire more people and be effectively getting them to build your business, not to figure out what you do. Any questions? Have you seen this before? Something. Have you seen this before?
I heard the 10 points of contact before between like prospect to
Between prospects.
yeah, but not the fact that you had the audience point of contacts is something that I have never quantitatively
So
put into.
what got me into Holistic Earth is this one.
Yeah.
Because everybody in your Holistic Earth for me are what?
Target audience.
Our audience. No, our audience.
Just audience. Okay.
Just audience. Whoever wants to grow the business and they are focusing right now on building their business, they become the target audience. Okay? So I go hang around in like 6 or 8 different groups because these are my audience. And my job is to do it. Sort out through this. Our job is not to sell. Our job is to sort out. A point to Timothy, credit. You can have situation where I had a couple of times here, individual will come from the door and they will ask for me. They go to my office on the other side, across of the hallway here. And they come and say, okay, we want to subscribe to your service. Who are you? I never met you before. No, I heard about you from so and so, and I need to do this, and I know you can help me with this particular module, and I want to pay you the money. It happened to me a few times. Do I say no to them? Do you have to come through this?
No,
So-
no, you're jumping.
You can have the hoops, you can have the jumps, okay? In Timothy's situation is very interesting because his prospects will go and provide him refer the customers, and the customers come back. You can have these jumps, it's very healthy to have them. However, your business must be 80% operated and designed on
The flow through.
the long path way.
Mm-hmm. That's what's missing for sure.
So someone wants to say, okay, why I don't have new customers? Why my customers are completing their program and I don't have new people for my program? Why? Because I'm not doing my energy here. If you run a yearly program and you are towards the end of the year program or the 3 months program and your customers and you cannot get new people in. Why? Because the effort here need to change. Maybe you are not spending here. Many of us wants to deliver and they forgot marketing. Many of us will sit and say, yeah, you know what, I bought my, this actually not someone last week she was telling me, I bought in the Holypedia, I bought my contact there, I bought my contact in, there's a couple of other groups as well in town, and I didn't have any phone calls. Nobody called me. these people don't spend money on marketing me. Okay, if you don't go outside and talk to people,
Yeah, networking is.
not necessarily networking. Okay, like I don't want you to frame it into networking because you can do something different. Okay, like not necessarily networking. Like you can invite them to your seminar. I want to just you put it at the abstract level of creating communication with people. Through networking, yes, it's our selected attention to focus our brain that it will be networking. It's not necessarily networking. You can. How many of you will go to Starbucks?
Yeah.
What did you see? Did you notice what I did last time when we went to Starbucks together? I went in and I posted an ad for my service.
Yeah.
How many of you will go to Starbucks and post an ad for their service? How many will go to Starbucks and just put the information on a couple of tables? Maybe somebody will come to have a discussion instead of you sit on your own having the coffee. And don't tell me I want to just have my own time, have my coffee for myself. Okay, don't tell me this, okay?
Never eat alone, right? Never eat alone.
You don't tell me you want to do this, okay? How many of us will do that? Not many. Why?
So I'm just. So what did you do in Starbucks? You went in and you posted.
Yeah, I put my workshop.
Oh, you. Oh.
I have a small ad, like half of the page,
Right.
and
they have a place that you can do that.
every single store nowadays they have what we call it community board.
Yeah.
Safeway has it, Co-op has it, every Starbucks, every.
A lot of them are locked up though, and you have to go get approval.
Some
or
says
get
you have approval.
stamped or-
It doesn't matter. Like there's a process, but it existed. Okay.
Yeah.
Rule number one of the rule is you know the rule and you break it. You can know it's existed and you ignore it. It's okay, but.
I have put ads up in pretty much every community center that I've gone into, like
So-
because they have the boards too. And I
Because
went to them.
we have been told that you go through networking because the guys who run the network wants to make the money from subscription to the network. We discount all other activities.
Right.
So
So
when
actually, networking is just one of the tools.
it's
to
one
get
of the
to-
many. That's why I'm working to set up your mind here in a different approach with your permission for sure. So there are so many things you can do in your ideal time, which is very valuable. And the problems we have is once we have customers, we devote delivery.
Yeah.
And we forget that we have a mentorship meetings and we did not even text back the mentor that I am busy in delivery and the mentor was wondering, remember Friday?
Yeah, sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I'm not, sorry doesn't give me anything. It's just, I'm showing when we fall in where we love, what will happen? We forgot the orphan kids. That we don't have enough love to them.
That's something
Everybody
that
needs us.
And for me, this is a very safe environment because I run almost all of my workshops and material will run here. So here I speak my mind, and everybody comes here. They speak their mind. They open up, like they. So I use this metaphor to stick it in your mind. The problem is we love delivery.
I learned
Zach-
that from you a lot. I tried to focus on operation. I wanted to spend money and get it really fixed. And he's like, but you're not making any money if you just make products and you're not even getting people to
If
buy
you
it.
make products here and you don't have these discussions,
Yeah.
you don't have. It doesn't have to be this long, but you don't have this. If you spend time here creating the products, it doesn't matter. Nobody will buy it.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to devote 80% of our time here and here, and 20% only on delivery. So if you don't do it in this way, you will not be able to sustain and get to Tracy comment is you need to create the sustainable business by getting money
Yeah.
to the sustainable business. Make sense? Can you relate? So let me just, I want to have to, because this is running out of battery, so I want to just switch this one. You like this?
I know it looks nice and big and everything, but I feel my
Whatever make you happy.
sore, so.
Whatever make you happy. Okay. Any questions? Yes.
Could you clarify, please, what the IR is under the customer? What's that?
Invoice, receipts. The point is they need different set of material. They need different forms, that's right?
Yes.
They need different side of the website. They need something different than the other stages. Now, in Jennifer business is a little bit more complicated. And Jennifer is the money lady because she deals with money, so she's the boss. So in Jennifer business, she will have different C's here because you are serving different customer base. That's right. So a restaurant using the service will be different than massage therapy, will be different than somebody selling everything online, will be different, that's right? So the businesses I'm working with, when we're working in larger organizations, we model parallel passes. Like when you grow, you can have different C's here and different CS's here because they will need different material. Okay? And Tracy, in your previous business was the same. If you have an elderly people or established people, different than new couples, right? The material you provide to these people will be different.
Yes.
So if you are starting in the coaching business or you are in the coaching business, you must have one pass to start. But once you get into maturity, you realize that you will move down into multiple of those. So I do have a business which I've been around 14 years, and when we build new groups, we build new different channels. So we say for this particular business, this is the whole pass. For the second business is a different pass. And you must be able to know what's their age, what's their characteristic. You know, remember this marketing is standard marketing things. They tell you who they are and what's their age and when they hang around and what they do and all kind of. You must know this for each one of those. Any more questions?
Thank you.
Any questions?
You're saying about having different, I took away something like different levels of the website for different customers.
Not for different customers, for different
Or
models.
people.
Yeah, for different models.
So, like in my business, I use my website as a portfolio to kind of like build credibility. So when people
To whom?
to prospects.
To prospects. So
Yeah.
you leave all of this
Yes.
and
or
you build it here,
right.
which is not the ultimate approach.
So what's the ultimate?
We will talk about this.
Well,
Remember, this just I want to share with you the
no, I'm
outline
just,
for the 3 days. Okay, not, okay. So you must we will spend some time on targeting few of those. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions? So if you don't have any questions, I can start and ask you the following question is why people will come to you. So if you want to maximize the outcome of this workshop, I know many of you have multiple hats for their business. Just focus the whole 3 days into one specific business. So if you have one specific business, why people will come to you?
Because you do that job really well.
Do that job really well. Why else?
Convenience.
Convenience?
Faster than if they do it themselves.
Why?
Expertise to help them on their path.
Why people will come to you?
Because you're an expert.
I wrote down price.
Price. So people will come to you because you are expensive?
And or value. The
No,
value.
so you said price.
Yeah, I said
So-
price, but I
So
should've
people
said
will
value.
come to you because you are expensive?
Sometimes.
Actually, it's true sometimes.
It's they're
No,
coming
it-
to you because
The value proposition. What I should have said.
and they trust you.
They trust. We have it.
Oh, yeah.
So for price, they come to you because they are expensive. So I want to share.
Mercedes, hey.
I want to share with you a story. A friend of mine, she runs a jewelry store. She owns a jewelry store, an Indian jewelry store. And what she's doing is she got this turquoise sets for Christmas. And she has the turquoise sets, and she started to promote them. They could not sell. So she went in and she positioned them in the middle of the store. She put different promotions. She did the standard. If you have a store, you understand. You have the stores, right? You did the standard things to try to push some products out,
Staging
and she could not sell any. So before she went away, she wrote to her assistant, just the turquoise system takes the price and multiply by. What's this? Is this half or two? So if you read it right now, what
We increased it by 12.
by two, that's right. She went to write it by half, multiply the price by half. But when she wrote it down, the notes, she wrote it, whoever read the note, read it by two. So they went in, she's the owner, so what they will do?
Freaked out.
They comply, that's right? So what they did?
They doubled the price.
They doubled the price. In 7 days, she sold out from the turquoise systems. She sold out. She came back and she found that her store made about 70% more revenue. And she could not find the turquoise sets. So she asked what will happen. So the manager came to her and said, I followed your notes. You asked me to double the price. He said, no, I asked you to cut it to half so we can sell it. So when somebody will come and say, in a store, I will sell at twice the price, but I cannot sell at the price, it means what?
Well, we ran into that very thing, right?
It means what?
If you cut the price in half, it's not worth anything.
Yeah, it is.
Customers see value in the price.
So the quality in jewelry, quality means what?
Oh, expensive.
No,
That's
rarity and yeah.
Quality means expensive.
Yeah.
If you sell jewelry, when the jewelries are expensive, people will believe or perceive it has
Yeah.
quality. That's why I'm coming to you. When you said price, people will come to me for the price. Usually people will say, I will lower my price to the bottom and
that's not work.
I am, so people will come to me because I'm cheap. It's cheaper than anybody else. We've seen it on stages. I've seen it. I see people in stage will stand and say, and you know what, guys? I'm giving you much lower, like 15% lower than any other. Go to any other competitor. I will do your SEO. I will do your website.
And I don't associate that with value.
Hold on. Why you initiate the price reduction? What is the right price for your product?
What someone will pay.
Excellent.
Exactly.
So the right price for the product is set by the boss. Who is the boss?
Customer.
The customer. So the negotiation is me to increase my price and them to reduce my price. That's right. And there is a negotiation. Once they've triggered the value, they will buy your product. So what's your right price? What somebody
Money will pay.
will pay you.
I love that. Your job is to raise your price.
You can raise. I will share with you a few techniques to raise your prices at no extra no extra effort or very minimal extra effort. Okay? So we have been now discussing this for about 10 minutes. And what did you do? What are you doing on your website? You said you want to have credibility, or
Yeah. It's like the
okay,
format.
but now credibility did not come here.
We'll see. Okay.
Okay, so I want to just point out one thing, and all of you allow you to me to use you as live examples, right? You allow me to,
Yeah.
that's right?
Yeah.
Are you okay? I'm not offending anybody.
No.
So
We're
he
ready to go.
mentioned that he is developing his website because he wants to have credibility in front of his prospects. However, when we ask a very legitimate question, why people will buy from you, credibility did not come here.
It's under expertise.
No.
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 Yeah, because. they
No.
know-
There is a difference between credibility and expertise. Okay.
Okay, then.
I could be
So what I
really
want to
good at
mention,
laying
what I want to
concrete,
say is,
But if I don't have all the tools to lay the concrete, I don't have the credibility.
what I want to say here is, we set in our own mind, make up decisions, and you make the decisions, you follow on it, you devote your life to it, and your assumptions never been verified. And then you come and say, I don't have many of those. Why? Because are your assumptions. This has never been verified. Okay? So if you will come and say, people are buying from me for the top 6 things here, we never said I did it before. Like nobody said I did it before. Okay? Nobody said because I did it before.
I kind of put that under expertise.
I can put it under trust, credibility. 'Cause
You
I'm
see?
putting Trust.
Even when we try to illustrate, so is this argument, if we allow to talk about this argument or this discussion, healthy or not?
Healthy?
It's very healthy
Yeah.
because you are 2 different personalities.
Yeah, I don't even want to call it an argument.
Yeah, so this point of discussions are very healthy because we cannot even agree is testimonials and what did you do before will come under trust
Yeah.
or will come under expertise.
Right.
It will come under both based on how you write it. And I will share with you very simple techniques how to write few things.
Yeah.
What do you want to say, Jennifer? No, you are ready. I feel you are ready.
No, I was just thinking on that whole thing that you were just talking about between expertise and trust and writing a testimonial that can, if worded right, hit both points.
Or it can be written in 2 different ways to address each one of the points. That's right? Yes, sir.
One of the reasons I'm here is to break my unconscious bias. I just thought about that, and then it's something that really needs to happen because I'm sitting here with a lot of unconscious bias that needs to be broken.
Okay. So why people will buy from us? For none of those.
For none of those.
Because
None of those.
everything's
People will buy for 4 things, and this is based on the analysis and the studies I've been looking for in behavior sciences and different. People will buy because you will help them making more money. It's the wrong color. Okay, can you just sorry. People will buy because you will help them making more money or avoid
lower cost.
losses. I agree with Tracy, and I know she was not here before, but she brought one good point. She said people will buy because of I can save them time or can I make them avoid losing time when they see the results. That's right. Why people will buy other than these 2 Because you said they need to see more results. That's right, Tracy?
Yeah, I
So-
actually say quicker results.
So quicker results. So because you are saving them time, that's right?
Yes.
Or you make them avoiding having bad time or longer time or delay, that's right?
Yes.
So these are the triggers for people to buy. What else? What else people will buy for?
Relationships.
What do you mean relationships? I know you sneaked a peek yesterday, son.
Yeah, totally.
What do you mean relationship?
Well, if they know, like, and trust you,
Nope.
that,
No.
no.
People will
Are you
buy
gonna make them feel good?
because you can make them feel good.
Yeah.
You can make them fit in their tribe. You can make them fit in their friends. You can help them building better relationships. Okay? You know, dating and relationship are number 3, the highest third sold goods. People will buy makeup because they want to feel good. They want to fit. Or people will buy because you make them avoid bad relationship. That's right.
Yeah.
The fourth element will be based on process and information. So people will buy because you have an efficient process, or you make them avoid bad process, or they don't have process. So these are the 4 elements where people need to buy from you. Make sense? So in the next 15 minutes or so, I will give you a sheet, and I want each one of you will be able to write down besides these what the benefits you provide to your customers. Do you have any questions on the benefits? Okay, so so if you look at this sheet, you will find out that we talk about the product benefits. So your main service will have a product benefit, because we assume that we have from a sad phase to a happy phase. That's right. This is my service. That's right. So what are the benefits you provide to your customers? And the benefits has to be classified into these 4 categories. So can you fill this form? And please use the forms, and we have extra forms if you need to have one blank for you, but just can you say in your product offer, what is the value, the benefit you have related to time, dollars, relationship, and process? We just go step by step.
Okay, so we did the product benefits.
Yes. So can you share with us what you do?
Sure. So for time, they save time in doing marketing themselves. I noticed a lot of my clients want to hire.
Don't justify. Just say what you have.
Yeah. The money is they get increased sales. The relationship is they build good relationships with prospects. And then the process is they gain info and understand the process of my service.
Okay. Someone wants to share?
For time, I said they could prepare meals that are tasty faster. For the dollars, I said they could save money having to eat out or eat fully cooked meals. For the relationship, I said they could make delicious meals that kind of impress the people around them and themselves, I guess. And for the process, by starting out with some of our products, they can have simpler recipes.
Okay. Who else wants to share? Jennifer, are you ready to share?
Yeah, sure. For time, I do a lot of the research ahead of time for my customers, or else if something's gone wrong with their account, I do a lot of their advocating on their behalf so that they don't have to spend the time on the phone. For dollars, it's savings and or stability in price. For relationship, they know who they're calling. They're talking to me, and they're always talking to me instead of calling a 1-800 number.
Okay.
And for process, I walk them through how to sign up and help them get set up so they don't have to figure it out on their own.
Okay.
Okay, so mine, cause it's gonna be the Q process program.
You don't need to justify.
Okay.
You just need.
So I'm not sure if I'm going the right direction or not, but for time, they get to the point of enjoying life. For dollars, it's investing in themselves. For relationships, they discover themselves. And for procedure, they're given baby steps for growth.
Okay. Good. Tracy, you wanna? By the way, if anybody doesn't want to share, they can just pass it. Not. Tracy, do you wanna share?
Sure. So I help people save time by learning a system. I help them save money that they would normally throw away in ineffective marketing. I help them understand how they get in their own way, like how their self-talk sabotages them. And then for process, it's an easy to follow step-by-step process.
Okay. Timothy?
So the product would be content creation, archive, and distribution. For the time, it's able to set up equipment and production elements, and also not having to repeat the same message over and over once it's archived. Money, high quality production is available to clients. So relationships provide content to filter their audience and provide credibility. And then for processing information, work into a production will allow for archive, and if it's a process video, then that information can be reviewed at any time at leisure.
Okay. Does anyone wants to change his benefits after the 6 of you shared the benefits? So these benefits are driven from the customer perspective. So when you mentioned I will save them time by showing them a step-by-step system or a baby step system, you're already in the process. When you mention systems, it's the process. Time is different. Timothy, I couldn't understand anything related because the only thing you said is on time you will have the production ready for them, so they don't need to worry about it. Or just what?
Just on the time is they don't have to repeat the message over and over again once it's archived. That's the time, because once it's recorded and archived, that message can be.
So this
you don't have to say it over and over.
This is not the process?
No, the time is in the fact that you put the production together and then you can put it on a website and then you don't have to say it over and over.
You save them time. Okay. So why do we have these 4 triggers? Or why do we have these 4 benefits? What's the reason, do you think, we have these 4 benefits?
Different people have different perceived needs Some
Yes.
people just want to save time.
Yes.
Some people just want a simple process. Some people want all, but not all people want every single benefit.
So we know that people will need, their priority is two of those, not all of those. So people who are, they love the group, they love the socialization, they need to understand the relationship impact. They hate time and they get bored when you tell them process. Okay?
That's sort of like, I don't want to waste my time standing in line.
When you say I don't want to waste my time,
That's fine.
it worries me. Because this is your trigger. You understand this language.
Right.
You will not be able to effectively, efficiently talk to the people who appreciate the different language.
Right.
An accountant bookkeeper will be here in process. Holistics will be in relationship. And if they come back from an oil and gas background, they come out from process. A CEO of a company is looking for the budget when you deliver. A vice president engineering or a management in a company, they look at the process and when they will achieve. They don't like the other two. So one, which we may talk about it tomorrow a little bit more, one thing you must understand when you stand in front of anyone, who are they? Put yourself in their shoes. Understand their triggers and speak the language which will get them to engage with you. Make sense?
Yeah.
We don't judge. If you will judge, I will stop. We don't do this to judge. Is there one good or one bad trigger? Or one good or one bad benefit? No. As a matter of fact, the science we did and the researches we did, we found out that our priority will change based on our mood and our emotional status. So when somebody, for example, people like going through divorce, they will care more about the money. And they may care a little bit about the kids, but they don't care about how long will it take. And they hate the process because they are overwhelmed. When people will be like in a honeymoon, they will go around and they will like to spend time together, and they don't care how much they spend. And they won't spend the time, they don't want to waste the time. And there are people who will go to Vegas and they have every single step figuring it out because they want to go behind every single casino. So you find we will go at 5 o'clock, we will walk from here, because by 6 o'clock we'll be here and we'll look at the dancing waters, right?
Yeah.
In front of the Bellagio. So like, oh, yeah, we have to leave. And when at 5:05 or 5:10 we did not leave the hotel yet, we will be screaming, yeah, we are missing that. You know what? The road may be crowded, okay, but so the differentiation between what we share as Win Your Brand and what everybody else is, we understand what the impact of emotions on this period is. Any marketing material you write, you must have the 4 triggers. And if you have a conversation, you start with the most engaging triggers. Okay?
Okay, my brain is going really fast right now. I'm trying to remember this.
I'm giving overview on this whole session. I'm just giving you overview on what are we exploring during the whole
This is
series.
really super exciting. Yeah.
You know, so if the question will be is how do I know, like, is this DESC? Did you hear about DESC before? Human personality, colors,
Just DIC.
DIC, a DESC. Did you hear about DESC?
Yeah.
There is people will teach you there is a DESC. There is a color, personality. There is a bank code. And this basically you have a test, and out of these tests they will tell you how much percentage here and how you can deal with your workplace. And you'll find people from Chevron as a company, they have their colors on their name tags and on their emails. And I always stand and say, okay, you know what? If I will need 15 minutes to 2 hours test or survey to figure it out, can I ask my prospects to share with me their desk profile?
No.
Okay,
That might
so
break
we
the
don't
cable
advance.
now.
This material, we don't advance with it. We advance once it's simple enough. And because it's simple enough, we can do it uncautiously when we deal with everybody. So do you understand these 4 letters?
Mhm.
Yes.
Do you know what's DISC?
No.
Do you know what's BANK?
No.
You don't need to know that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with all 3 of those, yeah.
So the problem with those, this may work for an employment screening, but it does not work for sales. Although they try to sell dealerships, car dealerships, how this is important to show and how to deal with customer, but this does not sell. It's very hard to figure it out. When you stand on the stage or on a webinar and you wanna talk to people, you don't need to be sophisticated. You need to have simple triggers. And by the way, when you start with one, you can always ask more questions to get the other dominations, right? Make sense? So Timothy shared with us in the very beginning something very interesting. He said this prospects will text me or email me 1 line.
That's a D.
This is not a D. This is somebody care about the time. They don't want to spend more time. They appreciate their time more. They hate the process. When somebody's sending a very lengthy email talking about how good the weather is and how things are, these are people who appreciate the relationship first. When people come with their own, like Timothy is a relationship guy, by the way, because he brought in what? His drink in a bottle which is not a plastic water bottle. So he wants to take care of himself. That's why he brought this particular cup.
Or he wants to save time, but just like
No, if he wants to save time, he will bring something fast. He will bring a bottle like from the Sunny Water or some just brief manufactured bottle. But people who go around and they have their own bottles, we understand that these people will appreciate the relationships.
So is that because of more caring for themselves?
But if you want to have a quick bottle in front of you, you want it convenient, that's right? You want to figure out the process. So when somebody will reach out to a bottle which is like from Costco or from any brand and put the plastic bottle in front of them, we know these people, they just want to have efficient way or easy access to water. That's it. So are these reads right or wrong? It's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. We don't say it's right or wrong, because when we say right or wrong, it means we are judging. And our job is to sort or to judge. Sort. Like when no soap for you, he is judging. That's right. And when you say no soup for you for 1 year, he judged it. And when we say to the other, there was another character who came in and he said, and you too, and she said, I didn't do anything. That's right. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
He misjudged it. I can spend 1 day on just discussing this 5 minutes, because it has all kind of different negative behavior we do for our customers. So Jennifer will come to somebody, oh yeah, these guys are so much headache and I don't want to deal with them. Why? Most likely they appreciate the relationship and because you are here in process, you cannot maintain the language. Have you ever stand in front of somebody and he walk away and said, I don't understand what you do? If this happened to you guys, I'm not talking about you, Jennifer, but if this happened to you because they wanted to know when they will get results, and you spend lots of time on how the process works and how are saving money, but they don't care about the money. Okay? So this is the 4 trigger, which we call it PEAT, and the PEAT triggers has to be observed in all communications. Among these people. That's why you cannot hire a social media, a web developers, content writers without giving them a blueprint of your business to tell them what good value you have in each one. What good values you have on each one of those. So when somebody asks you what you do, how you will answer. You will basically, if you can figure out what their characters, you will start with the right character. So every single statement of your business must have an orange component, must have a green component, must have a red component, and must have a blue component. And the reason for us to have these boxes in the middle, that so you can bring your marketing material, and with this color pens we have in the middle, people will sit around the table and underline what kind of material you have. It's a very simple process. So if you have any marketing material, you do have it right now from your business, bring it up and figure out which words are green, yellow, orange, red, and blue. And if you are missing one color, what you do?
Keep writing.
Yeah. Just figure out what it is that's missing and what you need.
And you write it, right? So once you write it, once you convert this into sentences, now you justify to everybody. So if this is going primarily to holistic people, it will lead with green. If this is going to downtown core executives, it will lead with red or dollars. If this will go to engineering levels or people process, it will lead with blue. But you should have the 4 segments. So it's a step-by-step system, is efficient step-by-step system, help you making more money, extend your reach in 90 days or less. Does this hit the 4 triggers? It's a step-by-step system. Increase your sales, maximize your profit, whatever one of them you can use. Extend your reach in 90 days or less, or in 30 days or less. So people will resonate better. If I have somebody like Tracy, which is we know now she's really about the process and the time, we say in 90 days or less, you will increase your sales, you will expand your reach through my step-by-step system. If somebody like Timothy look at the process, we say I have a step-by-step system that allow you to do this. If somebody on the holistic side or the relationship side, we say I will show you how to expand your reach and in 90 days or less to make more sales using easy system or step-by-step system. So the way these 4 segments will work It's function of who you are facing, who are the primary reader to you. And if you want to know, just pick up 4 colors and go to any marketing material and figure out what are the words. Because if I say a step-by-step system or a baby steps, it means what? Covered here. That's right? I help you have a better relation with themselves, that's right, or explore themselves better. It covers this one. Now, how you can help them making more money, and how you can help them seeing results right away. Do you have it or not? Does this make sense? Is it difficult? Is it overwhelming first to anybody?
No, not
No, I mean, when you said it, and especially when you said your sentence and then you just reworded it for very clear. But then when I think about how to put it on mine, that's...
I can share with you how to put it in yours. And you are in the VIP, so just bring yours tomorrow, or if you stay today, and I can show you. It's very straightforward. It's just you pick up 4 lines and you undercolor them. By the way, what's effective or efficient? Efficient means time saving,
Yep.
and also means ease of process.
Yeah, 'cause
So there are some words which
Cross
will
over.
take 2 colors or 3 colors. What is cost effective?
money and time and process.
Okay?
Right.
So, or you can talk about sentences. It doesn't matter. So what I do is when we have this kind of work groups, you will bring your material, we'll start to have dots or underscore lines, and then we'll look at how much balance you have among those. If you are focused more toward the green, what will happen? You will go to not holistic people, but you go to relationship people more, which people under divorce, people under stress, people under therapy, personal therapy. This will be relationship people because they are vulnerable in this area. They will resonate better with your marketing material. Okay? When you write the marketing material in a different way, toward process people, you go to the blue colors, that's right? You blue colors and white colors, that's right? When you write it more about financial and the time, you go more towards the white colors. That's right? So, when you read the material, you can make a decision. And I got bogged down when people say, okay, I have one single brochure. It's a trifold. It has all the information about what I do. It doesn't work, guys. We are fortunate enough to focus on 1 or 2 of those. But Jennifer is not in this focus because Jennifer is selling as a service across all markets. So what I found out is when somebody like this kind of service, like a service which will go across all the market, like payment service or like even any support service, bookkeeping or accounting, I found out that if they came from the oil and gas industry and their language is blue, all of their customers or 80% of their customers are from the same demographic. Because they don't know how to take themselves from here and to talk this language. By the way, I am here because I used to be a CEO of companies. So I care about time, I care about money. I don't care about any of these other 2. I hate them. But if I'm running my business, you will find that I resonate better with people here. I resonate with the LGBT community very well. Because I know I trained myself to step away from my comfort zone and play well here. So I appeal better for people I would like to serve. If you serve LGBT, and I'm not against, I'm not for, and I don't want you to change what you want to do or what's your opinion, what's your mind about them. But this basically are relationship people. If you come as a relationship builder, they will come hide you. And it always happened to me when I go around and they are in the same environment. You will find they come stick by me as a cover because they are shy. They have their own characteristic because they find somebody they trust. they will give them the relationship. They will be around you. If you are in the oil and gas industry, you are here. If you are in the holistics, like who here will read the Trout's card, and who here will see the astronomy angel, and who will do that? People are in the relationship. The process doesn't make sense. There is no single question have been asked, can you tell me how do you read the Trout card? Does anybody ask you this?
Sometimes.
How often?
Not very.
Why? Because all of your customers are here. They don't care about the process. That's right. They actually hate process. So my experience with these models, when I apply it, I can tell exactly why your business is selling to this particular segment. And if you want to switch your business right away, create a parallel marketing material focusing on another segment, focusing on another segment. You will have a better engagement with the other segment. And you must not have one trifold brochure which will serve everybody. Because it will not work. That's why you need to have case studies. That's why you need to have. So when I pick up the sauce, for example, like the African flavors, when you give them recipes to use it, you help people who care about the process. So how many of us will buy a sauce because there is a recipe attached to it?
My husband would. He's a process guy.
Okay? Now, she will sell because people will love the African flavors. Yeah? It's easy for them. It saves them time. Yes? Her products are very are pricey. So we cannot talk here. But so people will buy here. The minute I can switch by adding a simplified process like a recipes, what will happen? A different segment will appeal to the product. Does this make sense? Do you agree?
It does, because I'll buy your sauce, I'm saving time, 'cause I don't care about cooking. My husband loves cooking, and he's going to buy it for a different reason. Yeah, because he can do this with it, and you tell me 10
So-
things he can do with it.
Why you don't apply the same concept to your business?
Because I just learned it 5 minutes ago.
But how long you have your husband? I know him. So how long?
Yeah, I think things are going to get better.
and this is one of the biggest things when I talk early on, like we talked about the website. He wants to build credibility on the website. We live in our own mind, and we believe this is the way. But if you step and look outside the box, you'll find it's not the way. There are easy ways. Now, when you go stand in a different structure, which we'll talk about it later, because this is a sheet we will have it for some time. We'll talk about the structure in the top and different how to funnel people and stuff like that. When you funneling people in, and people come from a general, diverse demographic, what's the problem now? You have to have balance inside the 4 messages. That's right. When you have a demographic which is primarily CEOs, that's right, you need to be more, how I can save your budget and how can I deliver on time. People, when they care about the budget or the dollar, they don't care about, they are not greedy, they are not needy, they don't hold the money. These people will need to know credibility. They need to know that you are credible to pay. That's why we buy Porsche. We buy Porsche because the Porsche is credible. Although all the pieces of the Porsche came from which car? The Volkswagen. All pieces. Even the flanges and things you can find the Volkswagen, they don't have a Porsche equivalent. Especially the SUVs. So why you don't buy a Volkswagen? Because it's a very economical, very effective, very efficient car. That's it. Okay? Who here have a Subaru? So you are into the efficient way. Why did you buy it?
Actually, my son picked it out for me.
Whoever picked it up because they looked at it's a 4x4 most
And
likely,
he
all-wheel
was-
drive.
It's
It's a powerful like a tank. It's a very strong car, very steady. None of them talks about luxurious. So if you wanna,
Just to say on Subarus, because I don't own one, but my dad does and my brothers both do. They're big on Subarus. For them, it's rally racing. It's all about what makes good sports car racing as far as rally, outdoor racing. So for them, they would have said fun and sports, not practicality kind of thing.
And had I not known your son picked it out, I would have said, you know, you like the outdoors, you're gonna go mountain biking,
Yeah,
and you
and
need
that's-
something to be able to hold your tent and your dog and.
you see, you can tell so much about a car, and these are two different. Which will come to the next topic. We'll talk about the brake. These are two different biased
Yeah.
or selected attention when they heard the brand.
Mhm.
So the point I want to say, if you want to upgrade the type of customers you have, if you talk more about the SEO style, the CEO style will come to you.
Okay.
If you talk more about the process style, the process style will come to you. If you come to a balanced crowd, or like if you stand on stages, which is one of the biggest, like the flagship products we provide here is how to sell through presentations. So if I want to do a presentation which will engage people, I have to balance my talk among the four, so everybody will be engaged. And the way this works is we can transfer them to words, or we can transfer them to emotional sequences. So I will start each paragraph to be able to bring people in a different way. And this is how we can apply this message into practical documentations. And please, if you have any marketing material, pull it out and apply it and see what will resonate. Any questions? So this was just an overview of what we'll talk about. Anybody wants to relate, to say some words? And I apologize if anybody felt like he's targeted or I'm just pushing against them or I'm threatening. I love to have eye contact and bring everybody to the discussions, because I always believe that this is just a sharing. I'm sharing with you what I know. That's it.
So
Any?
I was curious about marketing materials, and one of the notes I had was like if you'd make different brochures or different advertisements based on the crowd that you're trying to appeal to, and then do you only focus on one, or do you only focus on like max two? What's your thoughts on
It's
that?
all your strategies. We can talk about this in the rest of the 3 days. This is just the beginning, you know. Yes, what about like we have 2 minutes to go for the 2 hours mark. Did you feel you have been here for 2 hours?
2 hours?
No.
No,
Which is good.
Got my money's worth already.
So that's why you should upgrade to VIP. If you are not a VIP, if you want to support what we do, please upgrade to VIP. So I'm not like this. 12 years ago, I started my career as a professor. Students will come to me in the classroom. When I define myself, I want to make the students better jobs when they graduated. I start to look at engagement models. And I start to have classrooms of 15 minutes, and the students will come and they feel like they just sit in. They didn't feel, yeah, we have been right now 1 hour, 59 minutes. So there are 2 hours went by. You did not reach your drink, which is, I feel, not good because you may be dehydrated. So I encourage you in the break to drink waters. We have waters. We can bring cups. The kitchen and the washrooms are in the end of this hallway, and there's also another washroom on the other side. So you can basically go from the other hallway and you'll find that an opening in the wall, and when you walk in, there's another washroom to the left-hand side over there. And I hope you enjoyed, and let's just have 10 minutes break, or you need 15.
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.